Hi, Kim. Welcome back to Face. Nice to have you. Was
Hello.
last. Hey, how are you, Kim?
I'm good. How are you? Today I'm
Doing okay.
having my camera.
That's okay. Do you want to share your screen so we could see
Uh,
what you look at, or you want me to share mine?
yeah, you can share yours because actually I'm on my phone with you. I have my
Okay,
screen up in front of me, but I couldn't log in from my computer for some reason, so I'm on
no
my phone.
problem. All right, so why don't we talk about what happened last week? And it was a pretty big week. Are you in of the view that yields peaked probably for a while after last week's Fed and last week's NFP? You have a view, and did you recommit to TLTs down here?
I did not re-enter TLT. I'm looking where it's at right now. I kind of wish I
Yeah,
had because it
yeah.
was down, it gotten back down to what, 80, 88,
87, 87-ish
87.
down there. Yeah,
Yeah.
here.
And and if they peaked, I mean, it's hard to predict it. I'm of the mindset that inflation isn't going to keep rising right now. We just had like a collapse in the cocoa prices, right?
Yeah,
Did you see that? Not that that
yeah,
affects
yeah. I
inflation, but
mean,
there's like
yeah,
supply chains seem to be easing up, and but who knows, because geopolitical, all these different things can affect inflation. So um yeah, I think it's hard to
yeah.
predict, but
Okay,
I don't think we're going to be like in the stratosphere with inflation.
okay. Um, I'm searching for, and you're a follower of the dollar. Does the dollar matter to you when you're trading?
Definitely. So if
Okay.
if I'm trading short term, not merely investing, because obviously there's, as we know, difference between trading and investing. If I'm trading short term, then yes, the dollar makes a difference, especially with like small cap stocks, um, different types of short term trades, because the market kind of peaks when the dollar keeps rising.
So Russell would benefit the most out of all the other indices from a weak dollar.
Yeah, and obviously the yield's going down.
Okay, well,
I don't know if it
yeah,
benefits the most, but it helps it.
okay. So because it's been still the weakness, everyone's waiting for it to play catch up the Russell, but a weak dollar, if this turns into a trend, could probably really generate. I actually thought that a strong dollar, because these are mainly domestic U.S. stocks, was better for Russell, but maybe,
Well,
I'm
you're
open.
more the expert than I am.
Yeah, so I don't know if it is or not, but uh, I think last week we may have had a dollar peak and a yield peak, and it's probably hard to be short anything with a weak dollar. You said uh, when we sent messages to each other that this was your best trade. It was one of your best trades. You were long silver for the ride.
Yes, that was like that was a great trade for me because I started buying it, the futures. So I was trading the futures down at 21. And
Wow,
when it
nice.
hit about, and I think it was at 22 or so, or right around there when we talked last.
Yeah,
Um, and I rode it up to about 27
nice.
and 27 and a half, and then kind of thought, oh, it's peaked.
Yeah.
And then it came back down a little bit, and I bought it again and got out around 28 and a half.
Okay. So you're
So
currently flat.
I'm flat it.
Okay. Where would you want to
I know
buy it again?
it's had a big move today.
Yeah, where would you want to buy it again if you think
I
there's
would
more runway left here?
Where it was basing before it broke out was right. Let me see where it's at today. Was about that 26 and a half. So that would have been a good buy. That's why it's up
Yeah.
today.
Okay.
Um, I didn't want to short it though. I did actually try to short it and had a tight stop on it.
Yeah,
And that was before it got smashed down. Um, but it's probably rising today because a lot of the geopolitical, going on
yeah,
right now, because there were going to be peace talks or
yes.
possible as yeah. And so I think that's what really, I mean, it's very sensitive to everything that's going on geopolitically.
God, I would love to see a peace break to buy it. Um,
Well,
that's
that just
kind of my
happened.
style.
Yeah.
What we there's a peace agreement or just a
No, not
truce.
agreement, but there were talks in the work talks in the
Okay,
works between
okay.
Israel and Haman that I think Egypt was um, going to facilitate, and then those broke down, to my
Oh,
understanding. I don't know that they're all the way
oh,
off the
okay.
table, but those broke down. I think that's why you're seeing the big move up today.
In gold. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
they're talking about going into Rafa. Anyways, if that should happen down the line and gold sells off on some kind of peace deal or truce deal, those are buying opportunities. Just mark it in your memory because gold's
Are
not
you
going
in
up.
it?
I'm in miners,
Yeah,
and
miners.
the reason I'm not chasing physical here is because I think that the miners can pull back a bit. Here's GDX. He had that nice move from about 25 to 35 right here. And I'm still
Mm-hmm.
looking for, I think this is a correction that could take us back down to 30 and a half, which is about halfway back. So I'm being patient for that and not having FOMO and buying them by adding to miners on strength. I'm going to either miss it or get my price down here. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. I mainly traded the miners instead of the actual physical because they've been lagging. And they can get hit if there's a sell off in the market. What do you think about the market here, Kim? After we had this, nice little sell off and bottom because violence had stopped in the Middle East, and now we have yields and a weaker dollar working for it. Was this it in your view? And we're just going to go to new highs for the move?
Well,
Was
what
that
is the
enough?
saying? Sell in May and go away.
Yeah. Do you believe that's going to work this year?
I mean, I think that the market seems to be toppy right now in any type of like news or, bad earnings, like when Meta came out, sent
Yeah.
the market way down. So
Yeah.
I think we're range bound right now. I mean, do we hit at the new highs? We could slowly grind up, but I think we're definitely range bound right now until we get some new catalyst that either sends us up or down. And that's how I'm basically trading it. Like I'm being just more cautious about trades that I'm putting on. And
Okay.
trade, I have, we heard Warren Buffett this, weekend, and he has a lot of cash on the side. And so I have a lot of my dollars, I've been raising cash and I have those in the trading account in Bill and in SGov, just a place to get some interest.
Okay. Like a T-bill account.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Oh,
the
okay.
ETFs.
So, what did Buffett say his reasons are? You can't find anything with value, or he's worried about something. I'm trying to come up with some type of narrative that could derail this rally. And all I could come up with is that, yeah, at first, rates dropping, the market will celebrate. But if they keep dropping, they may be dropping because of not just inflation coming down, but signs of economic weakness, that we have
Yeah.
some type of growth scare.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that would rates would still the bonds would still perform and maybe outperform the market in that environment. What do you think?
Definitely. No, I definitely agree. I mean, if the economy starts to, starts to foible and, job growth or unemployment goes up and, I know there's talk of out there of stagflation, which could
Yes.
be the worst outcome, but Powell, really talked that down at the FOMC meeting. So, yeah, I
Okay.
think that definitely, I just think we're range bound right now unless we have some catalyst either way. I mean, we are coming up to the election season.
Yeah.
And, as that gets going more, maybe we'll get some clarity on who's getting in office, and that might send the market either way.
Yeah. That could be. Or if the country's going to accept the election results in a tight race, either side.
Exactly.
I think it's going to be litigated.
Me
Litigated.
too. Me too.
Yeah. So,
Me
I
too.
mean, and
And
who
not
knows what
taking a
else.
political stand, I agree with you. I think actually if it's close, both sides might litigate it, and then
Right.
that could, I don't know. Do you remember what happened? We're going to go way back now to the
Gore.
market during Gore and Bush when it was being litigated.
Yeah.
And
I
we didn't know
don't.
for months. Yeah, I don't either.
I don't.
So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
2000 after .com bubble.
Okay. So maybe that was part of the bust.
Yeah, possibly. Because we
Okay.
didn't know who the president was going to be until January. Basically, right. I don't think we found out till late December or January, if I can remember correctly. And so there
Okay.
was a lot of unease. There wasn't really unrest, but there was unease, or I don't remember there being unrest.
Okay.
But I don't
Um,
remember back to the markets, how
yeah.
that affects the markets might be a window in time, but I haven't looked at that.
Okay. And what issues are you still you have bullish conviction on still, Kim, even though you've been
So I'm
raising cash?
still, yeah, and I've been raising cash more with trades, not with cutting long-term positions that I have. So
Okay.
very bullish Google. There were a lot of naysayers on Google because they foibled I don't know why I keep using that word today. It's like my go-to word today.
All right.
They, their AI introduction did not go well. Um, I don't know, just a lot of people I was talking to on different spaces were very bearish Google. And for me, Google has such a great moat. It has a great enterprise, business enterprise system. Many businesses, including, Costco, uses Google as their, email platform. They use it for Google Docs. School districts use it. Not that they're making money at the school districts, but a lot of places use it. And so I just stayed long and I just stuck with my conviction, and they had a great earnings.
Yeah,
So,
look, there it is.
yep.
Huge gap here. So maybe we're going
And
to
it had
run
gone
away.
down to like 130 and
Yeah, down here.
I yeah.
Yeah.
And I had done added a couple hedge wrappers to it because it had definitely broken down.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'm very bullish Google. They're definitely, I don't believe, going to get left behind in the AI race. I'm most bullish though, Microsoft.
Okay.
Um, I have people that we know because we live up here in tech, the
Right.
tech industry. And we have people that we talk to all the time, have our ear down to the ground. And, they're using the Copilot, Microsoft Copilot at many different businesses that use computer programming. And some computer programmers I've talked to said it's really helping them to or computer engineers, that's really helping them to code faster the simple types of code. It can't really help with complex types of code yet, or it's not as efficient from my understanding, with the layman's perspective of what I'm hearing. But it is helping them, and they're using it with the more simple types of coding. This is at
Okay.
major companies, so not going to name them, but so
Okay.
I'm bullish. I think Satya Nadella is one of the best CEOs in the country. Um, People I talk to at Microsoft oftentimes seem very happy there. He's the one that transformed the company from when Steve Ballmer, that stock had done nothing for a decade or more. And he's the one that started going to the cloud using Azure. And do you remember that there were so many naysayers on Wall Street about him moving Microsoft to the as a
Yeah.
cloud company?
Yeah.
And
He was
that
ahead of
proved
the
to,
curve. Yeah.
yep, he was ahead of the curve. Um, and so anyway, he's really transformed Microsoft, right? Brought it
Okay.
out of like a go nowhere stock to, one of the best companies, I believe, and
I know you've
leaders.
liked I know you've liked Amazon too, right?
Yes, I do. I do like Amazon. I mean, I think Amazon's just I don't know that there's anything, I mean, special about Amazon. I actually did cut some shares of Amazon and they
Okay.
had a great earnings and I cut it before earnings.
Okay.
Just a little bit. I trimmed it.
Okay. And Nvidia, you doing anything with that?
I don't have, my husband told me to buy that at 95
Yeah.
or 100,
Yeah.
105, I think it was at.
All right.
If we got a big pullback, I mean, I've been in and out of it over the years, but I've never stayed consistently in Nvidia.
Right.
So if we, I did play some options on Nvidia though, and that ended up being a really good trade as it was just moving for, a straight 6 months or whatever. One
Okay.
of my little dark horses is Hood.
Okay. And what is Hood?
Hood is Robinhood. It's the,
Oh,
trading
okay.
platform, the one that was, got
Yeah.
so beaten down after the whole game meme
Right.
stock debacle.
Yeah.
But they've started a credit card and they're attracting people by paying like I don't remember the percentage, but kind of a high percentage for people to bring their retirement accounts over.
Okay. They're asset accumulators now. Instead of just trying to get the day traders, they're going for
Correct.
right. They're going for the long. They change if they're going for IRAs and so forth. All right. So Hood, I wanted to ask you about Apple. Apple. Fortunately, I'd been selling rallies for a year, but uh, I follow option sweeps. I know you do too, and they
Yeah.
can and they can point you in the right direction. Anyway, there are big call sweeps happening right here. So
Hmm.
I covered my short, and then down here I was saying, "Oh, damn, Dale, now you're going to miss your break to 150." But then when it started closing back above prior resistance, I go, you know what? This was just a little bear trap. Do you think it's sustainable just because of buyback power to drive this? It almost felt like desperation. What they
Yeah.
decided to do. What's your feel on that?
I mean, the thing is, I don't really trade Apple.
Yeah,
I'm long it in my investment account. So I feel that Apple, I mean, they just don't have anything really innovative right now that's new.
yeah,
So I think
yeah,
that's part of it. Well, they do actually, the Vision Pro. But I don't know how many people are buying that at $3,500, right? Until it
yeah,
gets more affordable, I don't think it's going to be their bread and butter or something like the iWatch or uh,
yeah.
something else that's selling that a lot of people are buying. But I think they need to get more innovative and get into the AI. So the question I've been hearing is, will they have AI embedded in this next um, iPhone update when it comes out in fall? And that would be the question. I think Samsung does, not 100% sure on that. Um, But if they do, that might drive people to update their iPhones, right?
Yeah.
If they don't, well, I mean, I can say I love Apple. I'm everything Apple, but like I don't ever feel the need to re up my iPhone every year.
Okay.
I mean,
Um,
it's
yeah, I knew what for.
right. I mean,
A,
and it's
a
a
better
hassle, you know,
camera?
personally it's a hassle to
It
update
is.
your cell phone all the time and have it, you know, all your information, all your contact. I mean, I know everything transfers over, but not everything transfers over, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, great points about that. And, they have the China issues. Um,
Yeah.
everyone's, there's a lot of good sponsorship in gold and silver, right? And there was a
Hmm.
lot of sponsorship because of what was going on in the Middle East with oil. But WTI kind of, it looks like it's rolling over. But you know what I'm interested in, if I'm correct about a dollar turn, is some of these out of favor commodities. Here's one, natural gas. You could look at a weekly.
Natural gas looks up today, but that's
Yeah,
gotten, I haven't looked at that in a long time. It's gotten
look at that.
really hit.
Cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So there's plenty of widows out there from the Widowmaker, and
Hmm.
I'm hiding out. So anyway, we did diverge here. This is one of the outer favor ones, and then just going back to my days as a commodity broker and IB and stuff is I think the grains are worth a look. And there are ETFs on the grains. So I was going to just, fill you in if I could find them. Okay, here
And
we are.
there's
Yeah,
futures as well.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, here's the wheat,
Oh yeah, that's had a
long-term
big,
base. So
hmm
it's turned to dust. This was the Russian invasion of Ukraine. So
hmm
everyone's worried about food supply. So, I mean, even if you get a retracement move, it could be pretty good. And then here's the beans that, are putting in, a higher low, even though wheat made a new low. They look okay. And even corn could be coming out of. So I think the grains are overlooked. People have been decimated trying to bottom pick them. And I think the missing ingredient was a weak dollar, because a weak dollar lifts, almost everything in nominal terms, right?
hmm
So just something there.
Yeah, thank you. I did trade the wheat during that period of
That
time.
pair, yeah,
Yeah. And basically traded it over just like a week. Um, and you know, for those products, for me, the way, and this is same with the metals, I look to swing trade those, or if I want to get long a position, like if I want to get long the metals and maybe I don't want to allot the capital in my portfolio, that's why I use the futures. But then I use the micro futures because
right,
then I can keep adding, right? And
yeah,
a lot of people look at futures as day trading, um, but it's a way you can get a position in something. And even if, like, I bought the micro futures when we were going through that big downturn in 20, was it 2022,
yeah,
2021, 2022, and I just started buying like MES, you know, that mirrors the SPY.
yeah.
Don't have to put as much capital to work, and then you can slowly buy your, you know, buy in, and you can use it as an actual position. You know, the negative is you have to roll them right every quarter,
Big
but it's
deal.
not hard to, it's, I mean, one time I forgot. So
Okay, you
that
got to
did cause
notice.
you
Yeah.
you got to remember to, like, I, you know, I knew I needed to, but then I somehow missed it. Yeah. So you do have to be on top of it and make sure that you're having it in your calendar written down. Um, because that did cost me not to roll them.
Okay.
But
but it's the most
Huh.
efficient way, and you can do it with very reduced um, leverage with micro lots.
Yep.
Okay.
Like an
Yeah.
like a micro MES, or micro grain, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
I was just trying to see what the buying power was on it. So it's about $800
Yeah. Okay.
to buy a micro.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that's
And
not bad if you want to get long a position
right.
or
And
short
I
or
just
short.
yeah, and I just wanted to show this that this is supportive of a weakening dollar. The emerging markets outperforming us in the US hasn't done this in a long time. So it's making new highs way ahead of US bourses. You ever look overseas for anything?
I pay attention to it. I don't
Okay.
really trade overseas.
Okay.
So
Anyway,
what do you think is going to happen?
I think this is going to be a trend that if the dollar peaks, that a lot of markets that suffered under a strong dollar regime are coming to life, and I think it's just starting. So I would start looking for dollar hedges besides the metals, buying stocks overseas in their currencies. You could get the pop in their currency because most people, if they went overseas, they bought dollar hedged funds over the last few years, so they didn't get
Hmm.
hurt by the translation. Now I think the translation can benefit the position outside of the dollar.
That's really
So
good analysis.
you buy an Australian mining company uh, unhedged, then you get the bang of the Aussie appreciating against the dollar and the appreciation of whatever they're mining if that commodity is appreciating. Kind of a
Hmm.
double bang there. So how
Yeah,
did
well,
you
I think it
like
would
it?
be good. It'd be good globally if I think, if the dollar did back
Yeah,
off.
yeah. Good for everyone but the American consumer because prices will go up. And if I'm right about the
Hmm.
grains, there have been that's kind of been the tame part of inflation. It hasn't shown up in grocery stores, but imagine grain prices going up now.
Right.
That would really put pressure on the consumer. So, how did you like interviewing me today?
I loved it. I have other theories on inflation and why it's going up, but we could talk about that next time.
Oh, good teaser and a good segue and a great way to start the trading week talking to you, Kim. Really appreciate
Thank,
that you come.
thank you so much. Thanks for
Yeah,
having me.
yeah, it's great to talk to a real trader and someone who's not just trying to, sell something to the general public.
Yeah, I
And
have nothing to sell.
yeah, and how people say they if for like 5 grand they'll sell you the secret of trading,
Yeah,
or any dollar amount. I don't care if it's $10. Uh, you don't have to pay that because Kim's an example of it. That the secret is there is no secret. It's hard
yeah,
work. It's a lot of time, and it's living through adversity. And if
yeah.
that scares you, do something else. That's the secret.
That
So
is very true.
yeah.
And step
So
away from your screen when you feel the FOMO or
yeah, there you
want to
go.
make a rushed or panic decision. Go for a walk.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
All right, there from a pro. Walk away. Walk away when you're feeling emotional. That's great advice. So Kim, thanks a lot
Exactly.
for hanging out with me today. And
Thank you so much. Always great to talk with you, Dale.
all right, and sharing your ideas with everyone. We're grateful. So
Thank you.
that's a wrap. People are thanking you. And Bruno, yes, she was talking about a T-bill account. So all right. And you could join the team in 15 minutes on the Morning Edge. You could find Kim on X at Mama Vester. Mama Vester. And if people want to DM you and, maybe they have a question for you, you're open to it, right? I guess she left. Okay. Well, I know Kim. You could send her a DM. She'll get back to you. And I'll see everyone tomorrow for Turnaround Tuesday. See you, Mike. Okay, Shiva. Adios. Don't just count your pips, count your blessings. I'll see you guys.
Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with Forex Analytics. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like these videos, share them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the content that we provide here for free. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.